Hey, hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by for another bedtime vlog. I am tireder than tired that I usually am. It's like coming up on 3:33 in the morning, y'all. It's one of my favorite times, 3:33. Usually in the afternoon. Actually, often at night. And now that I think of it, it's a full moon. It's a solstice. It's completely appropriate that I'm up at 3:33 in the morning. Nonetheless, I am pretty tired. My feet hurt. Can I just groan for a sec? And that's because I was wearing some boots with heels, which I don't normally do. And that's because I went and performed at a party, which I don't normally do either. I shouldn't say I don't normally, but I haven't done much. And it was really, really super fun. I think the band, 1,000 Words, and I did really well. And the audience. So it's been really interesting because I've been mostly sober after doing a month sober. I've had just a few drinks and only like one at a time, so not really felt intoxicated at all on alcohol. Coffee and weed might be a little bit of a different thing, although both of those I've mellowed out a lot on too. But anyway, that's a side note. Point is, hanging out around people who are drinking when you're not drinking is, as many of you probably know, is a whole new experience. It's not really new to me. I've gone back and forth quite a bit, actually. Um, it was just interesting to note that tonight, at first, when I was at the party, it was really nice to be sober while I was performing, and watching all the audience get drunk was kind of fun, and they were, a lot more dancey and happy than they might have been if they hadn't been drinking. So I appreciated that. And then later in the night, I went to a bar and I got invited on stage to sing with one of my muses, Eric McFadden, which I just realized this is what I wanted to talk about really, was that setting intention. So I set the intention a week or so ago that I would like to sing on stage, and it's happened now a number of times, so it wasn't like outside the scope of possibility whatsoever. Except for that, I had this gig tonight of my own at the same time, and maybe at other times in my life I wouldn't have even contemplated doing both, but both has been a big theme for me lately, so I decided to do both. If I could, I kind of left it, I didn't want to stress over it, so I left it open. I went to the party. I was a little stressed getting there. I've been trying to really pay attention to my emotions, so can't say it was no stress. I got a little irritable with the whole up to the thing, I'm just remembering. And then I had a really great time, really good show, really good, I don't know, we played for about an hour. Went really well. I think I sang really well. I played pretty well. I was able to engage with the audience and my bandmates pretty well, better than we ever have, really. I think we all agreed. So that was really cool. And then I interacted with the host of the party some, and got to know several people around the party, and made connection. I just remembered I need to remember that I got invited to go sing at another place in January, so that was cool, with this guy who runs a open mic type of thing, or a featured songwriter thing is what it was. So anyway, I'm a little flattered, and definitely gonna take advantage of that opportunity. And yeah, I just sang really well. It feels good, doesn't always happen, but it was perfect, but pretty good. And then I went downtown to see if I could sing with my muse, Eric McFadden, and he was playing with this girl, Lily, who was just amazingly guitarist, like just right up there on par with Eric McFadden, which you rarely see, and like ballsy. So it was really fun to watch. And then Chris Drakup, who's a local blues guy who I've been a fan of since he was with the Mutts way back when I was a kid, and another guitar player who's, for shame, name I cannot remember, and I've met him at least twice now, so that's really bad. I want to say Michael. Anyway, I have to look that up and get it right. And Artha, one of my favorite bass players, and Jeff Cohen, one of my favorite drummers. So I went to see them. I saw some friends on the way, and I realized that I didn't have my driver's license, and downtown is pretty impossible to get in to any bars anymore without an ID. But I do have my passport, and I actually also didn't have any money to get in with, and it was like $10. But I thought, well, I'll go see if I see anybody out front. Just kind of be seen out front, and I saw some people I knew out front, so that was nice. And then I decided to just kind of go ahead and walk in, and walk past the door guy, and he said, "Oh, hey, I need to check your ID." And I said, "Oh, hey, I don't actually have it with me. I have my passport, though. Will that work?" And he said, "Yeah." So, and then he said, "I won't charge you." So, yeah, got in for free without my ID, watched a few songs, got to see these awesome people play, and then had pretty much given up on singing. Ran into an old friend of mine that I used to date, and that was kind of fun. Just because it's always fun when you look good and you feel good and you run into somebody that you used to date. Anyway, then this guy that I used to date was telling me that he was like, you should get on stage, or he was thinking that. And he told me this later, right as I noticed, I caught Eric McFadden's subtle cue for me to get on stage, and wasn't totally sure, but then he verified it and thanked me after on the through the microphone, and asked me to come up on tap, or said I should come up on, say will you, but said you should come up on tap to Taos. That's next week when they're performing, which I take that to mean that I will get to sing with him then too, which is just right in line with one of the things I wrote down on my goal list for in the next future little bit, in the next 3 years, is to record with Eric McFadden. And so I already know he'll say yes. It's just a matter of finding the right time. And it's really neat to get to sing with him. And I sang really well. I felt I was just backup, but I know the song kind of, and I was confident, and I was wearing my hat. I wore my hat, not my gold jacket, but my red jacket, and sang pretty well. And the point of all that rambly tiredness is just that when you set your intentions, you have a lot better chance of getting what you want. That's what I got to say about that. And I'd love to know if you have any thoughts on that. And until next time, I wish you peace, possibilities, good intentions, and sweet dreams.